Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian own, nothing control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. All the vault listeners, y'all know y'all been listening to the vault for a while. People that have been dedicated, people that do their best to stay up to date on the episodes. We appreciate you all for sure. People that have subscribed, people that have liked episodes, people that comment. We always encourage everybody to type into the chat where you listening from, so people can know. We got people that have listened from foreign countries for years, so we appreciate everybody. We appreciate the new listeners. So today, we're gonna have a conversation today. What's the conversation gonna be about? Trust Christian? It's gonna be about trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. And going from trusteeship, from ownership to trusteeship. Really? Yup. We're gonna go from ownership to trusteeship. Yes, sir. Why, Trust Christian? My whole life I've been taught to be an owner. Your whole life you've been taught to be an owner. Yeah, I want to own a car. I want to own a house. I want to own this. I want to own that. See, it's Sunday. We're recording this episode in the universe. So this is the so-called holy day. This so-called day that you're supposed to be holy, right? You're supposed to be I'm holy, right? Right. But if you holy, you can't own nothing. Because you understand holy is spiritual. But oh no, I gotta come down to the world, I gotta own something. Or you gotta trust Christian, you gotta own it. Or you gotta control it. Oh, trust Christian. This whole philosophy of no owning now. I'm just gonna be a trustee. And we sitting there and we talking to somebody that say they in insurance. Now whether y'all know it or not, we're not giving legal advice or financial advice. But if if insurance is a trust contract, because it's a private third-party contract, three-party contract, set up for the benefit of the beneficiaries. You the trustee. The insurance is on you. The trustee. Who's holding it? Who was the grantor? Who's the trust? Quote unquote. The insurance policy. Okay. So now we sit here saying you're a trustee in an insurance policy. Okay. Okay. You a trustee for the social security number too, right? Oh no, Trust Christian, don't out the system. Don't talk about it like that. What you talking about? You trustee because you filed the taxes for it, right? For the name, right? The name is a corporation, right? It's a legal person, right? Oh, Trust Christian, you're breaking it down. Where do we go? You a trustee. You think you own the social security number? Did you own the social security number? Did you really own the house? Maybe you own the car. Partially you own it because it's in your possession. You're in control of it. Oh, it's paid off, Trust Christian. Right, bam, it's paid off, so you own it, right? Right. Okay, it's fully in your possession. There's no lien against it, it's supposedly. There's no debt against it, supposedly. Okay, for the public record, supposedly. Okay, great. What happens if you pay the house off? There's no public lien on it, supposedly. Right, okay, but it still has to pay property taxes. So, they got you. Who's they? The ones that you were implying that you're the owner to, on the deed. The owner. But we're supposed to be going to being a trustee. You already are a trustee. It's converting your mindset. It's thinking like a trustee on a regular basis. We don't need to sit here and say, oh, Trust Christian, do you talk to only trustees? For the most part, most of the people we deal with are in finance or in business, so they're trustees. We would like to say everybody walking around is a trustee, But how are you? We don't even want to call you a trustee if you didn't wake up to the fact that you are a trustee yet. So we'll give you beneficiary status. Why do you think the states gives you beneficiary status? You're the beneficiary because you don't act as a trustee in your majority capacity. Most people don't know the majority benefits of being a trustee. So they're going to be, but what? By default, a beneficiary. Oh, really, trust Christian? Yep. How do you become a full time trustee? You start learning the language. You start speaking the language of a trustee. Some trustees grasp quicker. Some trustees say, oh, I got a language barrier. We all do. Y'all thought that was a good excuse? Oh, Trust Christian, I got a language barrier. There is no language barrier in trusteeship. You got to learn trusteeship. The words, the language, what you call legalese. Oh, Trust Christian, that's really what it is? Don't tell me it's that simple. Don't tell me it's that easy. You have to learn legalese because you're speaking to attorneys. These, whether they're even judges, you're talking to people that are in the legal environment. So, by that being the case, you want to learn the legal language, which is trustee language. That's it. Somebody says, what's trustee language? What's the trustee lingo? What's the trustee lifestyle? The trustee lingo, the trustee lifestyle is legalese. Understanding legalese. Being aware of legalese. Oh, Judge Christian, is you going to change the system? What do you mean? Most of the people that are in legalese right now don't even think you're smart if you don't know legalese. Oh, Judge Christian, for real? 100%. That's the. Some people could sit here and say, we'll sit here and say, okay, what's the number one language in the world? A lot of people don't want to hear that it's English. But whether you know it or not, it's not just English. It's actually legalese. Now, some of y'all might sit here and say, oh, I never knew about that language. I don't know about this language. The attorneys know about it. You hire them to do the work for you, correct? You hire them to do things in the legal environment, correct? Correct. Lo and behold, these people are going to a library and picking up a template and just filling in your information. They got what do they call them? Paralegals. So how is it wrong for you to have a paralegal? It's not, as a trustee. Some of y'all didn't even hear that. Some of y'all didn't even know that. Oh, Trust Christian, you never told us we could just interview and get a paralegal and put a paralegal on the board or have a paralegal. What if I want to get my paralegal education? What if I want to get educated as a paralegal? It's all there for you. It's all there for you. From owner to trusteeship. What do you own? That's what it comes down to. What do you think you own? What is an implied trust? You implying that you own something? Oh, that's what the social security number is. You're implied. Implied what? You're the implied body, which is a surety for a debt. You're the implied uh, uh, beneficiary by default. Oh, I'm the beneficiary. Why would you be the beneficiary if you the owner? But then they changed it. The system is now the system says, hey, not only are you the owner, not only are you the beneficiary, you're the beneficial owner. You heard that term before? Once again, this is legalese. Trust Christian, we could sit here and talk legalese the whole conversation, but the unfortunate part is legalese uses regular words to that you use in colloquial terms, and you think it's the same word. So we may use a word and it might sound like it goes there, but it doesn't mean the same thing. Really? Promise you. Just like the word sentence, it doesn't mean the same thing in legalese. So how is it that we're getting to this point where, okay, legalese sentencing means something different than the sentence that I'm talking about? Exactly. In everyday life, exactly. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coinky dink. Oh, Trust Christian, how did y'all know the language is real, but I didn't learn it. Right? It's the language of the elite. Oh, Trust Christian did it. He said it. Yeah, it's the language of the elite. You're either gonna make that choice. You're either gonna be elite, or you're gonna be what else, whatever is not that. 100%. Does it come down to that, Trust Christian? 100%. Bottom line. Oh man, Trust Christian, I ain't gonna be no elite. Let's go ahead and say it. It's a lot of people that sit here and say, you just gonna basically say you're not gonna be an elite. But that's all it is. It's not, oh, Trust Christian, how come, I want to go from a owner to a trustee. You're gonna learn legalese for sure. Going to a trustee. You're an owner right now. You're a business owner. You're an operator. We don't even call it. See, that's another thing. Ultimately, well, pretty much, as long as you're an active, quote unquote, you're an operator. Oh, Trust Christian, is it that simple? It's that simple. You're an operator. And that's the most beautiful part about when you get into what you're supposed to be. Whether you want to say, oh, I am or I am not. Well, you don't own anything, because ownership just creates liability. If you own something, you're liable. What's the benefit? When you could never be liable or have limited liability. Why do you think you have a limited liability corporation? To limit the liability. But oh no, Trust Christian, it might be a little too complicated. I'm a little dense. Okay, that's all it is. That's all it is. And the mentors will tell you that. Mentors will tell you straight to your face, you're not going to be a trustee because you're not going to study. And if you don't study, you're not going to be a trustee. It's like, what? Did he say the same thing twice? Exactly. Because you understood what the mentor is saying. So you think, oh, okay, how do I set up the study habits? You ask the mentor this question. Oh, mentor, I got to study. How do I study? The hours. What do I study? We already gave y'all. You got to study the language first. So you got to get a dictionary. A legal dictionary. They're at the law library. If we had a movement from Trust Christian in the Vault where people started going more to the law library, so be it. That's great for the states. Why? Because then you're armed verbally, quote unquote, legally. How are you armed if you don't know the language that people are speaking and they're telling you your Miranda rights? Or you have the right to remain silent. No, duh. Why you think they tell you it? If you already supposed to know it. It's a right, right? It's not a privilege. Hey, you have permission to be quiet. But under circumstances here, we have to ask you some questions still. And permissively, you have to answer them. Bro, Trust Christian, hey, I'm a wing it. That's all what it is. I'm gonna wing it. Go ahead and wing it. Owner to trustee. Trust Christian, come on, pop some questions, baby. Alright. Trust Christian, do I need a certain amount of money to go from owner to trustee? No. That was the easy answer. Okay, Trust Christian, well, do I need to have a certain amount of net worth? No. Okay, Trust Christian, do I need to be in business for myself? No. Because whether y'all know it or not, some of the best people are the ones that never experienced certain things. So they maybe have never been the word an owner, and they just been an employee. And they going now from an employee to a trustee. We're going to do that episode too. But that's a different It still gives them the benefit of being a trustee. Why? How is it that people that have jobs say, "Oh yeah, I want to be in trusteeship"? Because it's not about your job. It's about your mindset. And where is it set at? Is it set on ownership, accumulation, or is it set on acquisition and allocation? Oh man, trust Christian man, been told my whole life I gotta own something. Okay, you making me lose my religion, right? Oh man, I want to own something, man. Everybody talks about owning it. That's all they talk about in the public. Okay, so then how is it that you're supposedly going to get wealthy, right? And then you're going to go into trusteeship. You think that's how it works? It doesn't work that way. We're letting you know. As soon as you shift your mindset, that's how fast you can go into trusteeship. Some people say, okay, so I'm going to just let this go mentally and I'm going to just focus on trusteeship. That's right. Now, some of the people are going to dip their foot in the pond. They played with it. They played with it. But they didn't learn legalese. Oh, I gotta trust. That's what they say. I gotta trust. We didn't know how many times we done sat with people. Oh man, I gotta trust. So what? What that mean? You got something in it? We're not trying to say it like that to people on the episode here. Y'all know what we saying. Some people gonna say, "Oh, I gotta trust." Okay, so what? You gotta trust. What is that? Entity. Okay, wow. That's like saying I open up a LLC, but I ain't made no money yet. I ain't acquiring no assets. I don't know just small things. Come on, people. Making a transition from owner to trustee. Oh, trust Christian. This is a quagmire. It's a quagmire. What do you? It's a quagmire, ladies and gentlemen. If it's not for you, it's not for you at this point. But if you're saying that you understand that this is a route to go, once you get on that route, the further you're on that route is the longer you're going to have to take to get back to go on the other route again. Some of y'all think, oh, trust Christian, I'm going to try to go both routes at the same time. Y'all know that's not working. So how do you do it? Oh, trust Christian. Come on, man. Tell me the secret. Tell me the secret. You going from whatever mentality it is to trusteeship. And you putting together the trustee game plan. What is a trustee game plan? What is a trustee waking up every single day doing? Why? Because successor generations going to want to know what was going on in the economy. They're going to want to know what was going on in the states. They're going to want to know what was going on truly in your market, so they don't have to depend on what you would consider his story or public information. So they'll depend on private information. And this is how you perpetuate wealth. If you're going to eliminate where the second and third generation has to work for money, quote unquote, they're going to have to learn a system that says, okay, we put this together, and then we're going to give you some instructions on how to not lose it. Or we're going to have a system in place for you to not lose it. Sometimes they'll have the second and third gen manage it. Sometimes they won't even have a manager. They'll have other managers, and they'll just hold the money. So because they understand that the family members that we're talking about, second and third gen, they just don't have the education. And if they don't have the education, they don't speak the language, then they could possibly make a few mistakes that could lose it all. In turn, they've trusted other people to be trustees over their second and third generation, fourth generation. It's like saying, oh, I'm putting it with a financial institution. Exactly. You're going to put it with a big financial institution? Great. Whatever you want to call them, a brokerage, whatever you want to call them. They holding stocks, assets for you.
They got trustees. We know a few of them for sure. They're major firms. They hold money for families that are wealthy. They invest the money. They invest the money on the family's behalf. They actually serve as a consigliere for the families. That's just what it is. They are the fiduciary actually of the family estate. So they're beyond the consigliere. But they definitely are a fiduciary for the family estate. Major financial institution. How are we gonna sit here and make it seem as though, oh yeah, church Christian, I've been taught to own something my whole life. Okay, that's the only argument somebody can put up. That they've been told this their whole life. That's all they can say. And then the second argument is, oh yeah, trust Christian, man. I I what they say after they say they, oh yeah, I've been told to own something my whole life. Now that I don't go on to own it anymore, that I can't own it anymore, I don't know what to do. It's called be a trustee. That's it. Be the trustee and the steward of the asset the way you were supposed to be in the first place. Be the trustee. Oh man, trust Christian, I don't know where to get the trustee education. I was told my whole life I gotta own something, so where am I gonna get the trustee information? Whether y'all know it or not, y'all could become friends with an attorney and speak to them and let them know you want to learn legalese and have conversations with them. It's like learning a new language. It is learning a new language. How many people are going to reach out to attorneys? Great attorneys at that, not the regular guy. So he's a guy from around the corner. No, the local guy. No, he's someone that he's international. Yeah. Oh, trust Christian, you got mentors that's international? Of course we do. Of course we do. Of course. 100% certified, stamped. Oh, they got the passport. They traveling internationally. They done manage property internationally. They done dealt with family estates internationally. Of course. Of course. You want to find that level of experience for your bench. Some of the trustees gonna get this. All right, Christian talk about putting together a bench of people, some trustees that I gotta be able to talk to and build my game up so I can become a better trustee and Mr. or Mrs. International Trustee myself. 100%. We already know our channel is unique. We already know that what we're saying is what people would say, oh, you're going against the trends. Home ownership. Home ownership is everything. Trust Christian, you don't know what you're talking about. Home ownership. What are you talking about? Home ownership has been down the tubes since 1971. Since they've taken gold off the gold stand, or taken a dollar off the gold standard. What are you talking about? Why would you have owned a house or got a mortgage after 1971? Oh no, trust Christian, you really saying it like that? There's none of our mentors that we know that have mortgages. First of all, they don't have mortgages. It's actually a tax on your wealth because they're charging you interest, and now you're going to the public markets to borrow money for a living when you could just go live. Oh no, trust Christian, I gotta create these adhesion contracts and things of that nature to for what? A mortgage? Oh no, trust Christian, don't say it like that. I'm already in a mortgage. What am I to do? What am I to do? I'm a owner. How do I go to a trustee? I got a house in my name right now. I got more than one house in my name. I got a few houses in my name. That's just what we get coming to the vault. They don't just have one house in their name. They got two or three. When we say their name, we're talking about the legal name that they're utilizing to do business with, that they're the owner of, or what they think they're the owner of. And when they switch their mindset to, oh, This is a legal name. I'm the trustee over a legal name. When you're a trustee over a legal name, you can act in your proper person. How you gonna act in your proper person? People talking about I'm going into the court pro se. Pro se. I'm going in my proper person. Not knowing, here we go, not knowing that a person is a corporation. A person is a name. So when you say, oh, I'm going in my proper person, we can sit here and talk with the best of them over the internet or anywhere. What do you mean the proper person? Is a person is an entity. Some people may know. Y'all could type it into the chat. But outside of that, we know most don't know. We know that. And we're sharing, hey, this is for everybody. Why would you not know your proper person? Oh, trust Christian, they don't teach you legalese in public school on purpose. Yeah, that's true. But, okay, if Rockefeller paid for the education that you have, it's like 1950s education. Oh, trust Christian, don't say it like that. Here, they have technology in schools. They have computers and all of this technology. Okay, okay. If some trustees would like to think that it's easier to get wealthier now than ever, that may be true. But if you think it's easier to manage it and control it and preserve it than it's ever been, then that's what you can sit here and think for yourself. But ladies and gentlemen, we sit in the rooms, and it's not to say they don't grow, but for the most part, it just at one point it comes down to who's going to who's going to be the most consistent in the environment. That's just being honest, but straight up. And consistency looks like getting better every single year. That's just what it is, ladies and gentlemen. So when people say, "Oh, trust Christian," I didn't know. I went through the Rockefeller education school system. Okay, I didn't learn legalese. Okay, and now you're at a place in your life where are you going to continue to tacitly own things? Oh, I think I could own a house. What are you talking about? You didn't even create it. How are you going to own something you didn't create? Why do you think the government can take your children away? Uh, why do you think the government can take your children away if y'all want to go there? Why the government can take your children away if you created it, you don't own it? No, you don't. So how can you own anything? You don't. It's just a term that people use, and in turn, it created a liability for them. And if you don't know how to act as a trustee over the name, then by default, you may be the owner. By default, you may be the beneficiary. By default, you may be liable. By default, no, trust Christian, man. Man, my family, my friends, all of them talk about owning stuff, right? Because you're not around trustees. Y'all want to go there? Oh, trust Christian, you don't know. What are you talking about? When we sit around trustees, true trustees, we talk about stewardship. We talk about growing assets. We talk about positive things. We're not talking about negative things. We're not talking about not growing the family estate. Everything centered around what you call the most important thing in your life, what you would say is your family. So if it's your family, it's the family estate. It's the last name. What are you doing to make the last name better? What are you doing in that respect? And then how do you do that as a trustee? What do you think, you own the last name because you got it? Oh, I got the last name, so I own the last name. And as soon as you own the last name, you became liable for the last name. Oh yeah, in the public they got debts. Yep, and in the public this is the thing and the that and right, and that's in the public because you owned it. You proclaimed it that you owned it. You claimed it and you owned it. So why would you not be liable? Oh, trust Christian. Man, you making it sound so easy. Okay. The mindset shift, definitely. Why? Because if you understood that, if you understand that ownership incurs liability, then you just go to a limited position and you move from the limited position. You go from the position where you're a trustee, you act as a fiduciary because you're already acting as a fiduciary. That's all it is. You out here trying to make money for the family estate, you're acting as a fiduciary because you're out here trying to make money for the family estate. But how many people gonna look at themselves as a fiduciary? How many people gonna look at themselves as, I gotta be a trustee for the family estate, not just focus on, oh, I gotta go out and make money, right? But how many people know what the family estate requires of them? What makes them a trustee in the family estate? How am I a trustee, Trust Christian? How am I a trustee? Just like you're a trustee over your body, you're a trustee over the name, any name. You're a trustee over it. Oh, yeah? Yep, you're a trustee over it. You're a steward over the name. Gotta keep the name good. Gotta keep the body good. Oh no, Trust Christian, I'ma just let it go down the tubes. I ain't gonna keep it up. I'm not gonna improve it every day. I'm gonna take some days off. Why? Because the Lord took a day off for me, so I'm gonna take a day off. Right. That's how people be talking out here. Taking off. I'm taking off. Taking off from what? Do you hear the type of language that people use? We not against people taking off. Hey, if you listen to the episode, y'all understand what Trust Christian talking about. Y'all know the way Trust Christian what he's talking about. But somebody people take that the wrong way, so be it. Oh, Trust Christian, man. You know, that's actually one of the episodes we was going to do. Actually, it was funny. We were going to do that. It's funny. Because y'all don't understand that you think you could take off as a trustee. Ain't no taking off as a trustee. You over here using the company's cell phone. You using the family estate cell phone. Y'all out here using the family estate cell phone. Y'all out here using the family estate housing. Y'all out here using the family estate car. Talking about some I'ma take off as a trustee. What? What are we talking about? You're using the family estate vehicle talking about you're taking off as a trustee today. I'm not going to. Yeah, I think all Trust Christians. Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth, Trust Christian. Do you read it? Do you read over trust information every single day? Of course. But we understand it's not always private. It could be public too. Why? They have public trust, yeah. So you can read over public trust documents. So we just make it a point to engage in enough information that it's going to be either public or it's going to be a private trust educational day or reading or whatever it is. It's showing you how to become a better trustee. Whether you reading over a case, whether whatever whatever you're doing for trusteeship. It could be reading over how a family estate was dissolved. It could be reading through a wealthy magazine about someone's family estate and how it's been positioned and how it's being managed after a person has passed or deceased. These are small things. Well, sometimes we got, okay, the mentors told us, oh, you can read annual reports for public trust. Well, that's what we do. Oh, Trust Christian, for real, I gotta download a 72-page document. I gotta download a 26-page document. Okay. Those are the things that you use for a trusteeship. That's actually, when you were an owner, you could have become a better owner by reading over the same thing we're talking about. But now that you're thinking from a trustee position, it just makes more sense to say, okay, I'm definitely not going to do it as the owner, do it as a trustee, but I'm just going to do what I would have did if I was still technically the owner on paper, or technically the owner in possession or anything. Because think about it, are you the owner in possession, or are you the owner because you have a legal title? Because think about it, the bank got the legal title on the property until you pay the bank off, right? Y'all want to go there? Let's talk about it. Because you could pull equity out the property, right? Right. You don't get to pull out legal title until you paid off all of it. You have equitable because you're in possession. But I'm the owner though, right? Yeah, you're the owner in possession. You're the owner in equity. You Oh, Trust Christian, we had one trustee come to us. Oh, Trust Christian, do you do everything in equity? Do you? Of course. You gotta do things in equity. But to sit here and say, oh, you're not doing things in a legal capacity either, that's where, hey, that's on them. But to say that they're not doing things in a legal capacity, oh, can the legal be twisted and shaped and shifted? Sure. Somebody's going to say, oh, well, the equity, it's been antiquity. Equity. That's fair. There is still illegal now. And so, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with the equity versus the legal? Well, which one's more powerful? Who do you think has the title, the superior title, that ties the whole thing together? The legal. We can sit here and say, oh, the property. Right. So, what's the paper for it? That's the legal. The property is the actual land itself or the asset itself. So, the legal, the paper, what is the evidence on there? What does it say on there? What does it say? You the owner? Some people ain't even read their docs or read docs. Can you go from an owner to a trustee? You can go from an owner to a trustee overnight. Really? Yep. Not just in mindset, but in physical form as well, with the current assets you hold. Oh no, Trust Christian, I don't know how to properly do the legal aspect of it. That's all they really be saying. That's why they reach out to the vault. If you reach out to the vault, you say, oh man, I don't know how to do the legal. Right, that's part of it. It's not that we give legal advice. We don't need to do legal advice, but we know, hey, trustees, people want consultations about things that they want to get done. Oh man, Trust Christian, you're gonna do it. Trustees, they think, oh man, I've learned the information from Trust Christian. I can go out there and teach it. First of all, it's not Trust Christian's information. For all of y'all to think that you're gonna take it from Trust Christian and give it out, it's not one of those situations, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I'm gonna get just enough from Trust Christian and then I could teach it. First of all, Trust Christian actually has mentors that he can pick up the phone and is on the call weekly with if he needs to, and is actually on the call with other forms of mentors in public sectors and in private sectors. So it's no, oh, Trust Christian, are you winging it? We're not winging it. So if you think you could wing it on your own, have at it. But we could tell you right now, even in the where we started in this sector, it was in the room with private families, and we had a mentor in the room. Private families. That was that. So if you think, hey, I can get this information, I'm gonna take it all away. I'm gonna teach some others so I can free their mind. How, through reading a Black's Law dictionary or reading a dictionary? Hey, we're not arguing against that point. You know, we understand. Hell yeah, I trust Christian. I could read this. I could read that. I could do this. I could do that. Oh, okay. Well, we're sitting here saying that we are aware that trustees, the best of us, hey, continuing education is just bottom line. Trustees, we're always doing something to get better as a trustee every single day. Bottom line, every single day, it's always going to be getting better as a trustee. The focus is getting better as a trustee. That's all it is. As you become a better trustee, you'll make better decisions as a trustee. Uh, and that's just that. Some people could say all they want, but nope. All you gotta do is just do what senior trustees are doing. Some people say, "Oh, it's the secret. You gotta get around other wealthy trustees." Y'all don't know how to become a trustee, or how do I take my wealth to the next level, even if I'm an owner. Uh, Bottom line is you gotta get around other trustees that have the capital. That's just bottom line. We're not gonna sit here and say it's We're just gonna get here. We're gonna go ahead and tell you. You gotta make it a point to get in the environments with other wealthy families. Ladies and gentlemen, you think you're gonna create a shortcut? That is the shortcut. You literally are going straight to the families that you need to talk to, the private ones at that. But oh no, no, Trust Christian, I gotta dress up. That's what they call it, huh? Not knowing that that's wealthy people's everyday uniform. May not always be a tie, but you don't really see it as much anymore. I mean, since Trust Christian's been inside of the wealthy environments, we're not gonna say it's become more lax, but what we will say is it's very we'll say this much. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you go and come in the environment, sure, they're not wearing a tie, but they're definitely wearing a suit. So, oh, Trust Christian, is that the way it is? For the most part, it's just they're wearing something that has a coat to it, a sport coat, tailored clothing, things of that nature. It's just the reality. So if you're gonna come in the environments and look the part, and you're not gonna come in there looking like, oh, I don't belong here. If you're gonna look like you belong, then you're gonna wear the right attire. Once again, we're not saying you gotta have a $200 tie or $100 tie or $30 tie. It's a lot of people in the nowadays in the past 5+ years, they ain't been wearing ties. They just don't wear ties as much anymore. Now, do you get some of the bigger fish that are speaking or X, Y, and Z doing it? For sure. For sure. Of course you do. Of course you do. But outside of that, what more can you expect? We appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. Definitely always appreciate everybody. Definitely was excited about doing this particular episode. We got actually another one, especially the 24/7 trustee and the employee to the trustee. This was the owner to trustee. And some people will make it seem hard. Oh, Trust Christian, I don't want to go against my public programming. Everybody I know, even myself, we own something. I own a car. So what are you saying? I shouldn't own it? That's on you. To say, oh, I'm going from ownership to trustee. Our channel was created around people that say, okay, I'm going to be a trustee. I'm focused on trusteeship. And I got to deepen my mindset. I got to get further in my mindset properly to actually execute what we're talking about. Bottom line, you gotta make it a point to just go full-fledged trusteeship. We was actually around some other senior trustees, some well-off trustees. They've been all well off for a long time, and they said, "Oh yeah, we had to go all in at one point." It's like, wow, these guys. We got to go all in at one point, Trust Christian. All right, great. They going all in. They was all in. So we appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the Vault, episode 785, from owner to trustee. Definitely wanted to talk about this today. Owner to trustee. Are you going from an owner to a trustee? Oh, I want to go from owner to trustee. Trust Christian in the Vault. I want to go from an owner to a trustee. I know that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's not Trust Christian. I got to trust. So I'm already a trustee and I'm an owner. I just need a consultation on, becoming a better trustee. We had those people come through too. I got a trust already. I need a consultation just to become a better trustee, right? Because do we get consultations? When you go to a conference, that's a consultation. You gotta go to the event now and interview people and talk to people. Blah 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 blah. You know how that goes. You gotta go. What they say? You gotta network. Okay. That's the cost of trusteeship. That's the education. Going to the conferences. Oh, Trust Christian, I don't know about these conferences. I mean, y'all would like to think they're mysteries. You would like to think that, wouldn't you? Oh man, this is super mystery. These private wealth conferences, I don't know about them. Trust Christian in the vault. I don't know about the private wealth conferences. Yeah, you do. You do know about them. It's a lot of public ones that's going on, but it's definitely a lot of private ones as well. And they're on the internet. They're waiting for you. You Google the terms that we talk about, you'll get to where you need to be as far as up to speed on that. Okay, Trust Christian, I'm a read over this. I'm gonna read over that. I'm gonna study this. I'm gonna study that. I'm gonna listen to this. I'm gonna listen to that. I'm gonna go here to these people, and get around that. Oh, Trust Christian had a few ones about a publication. He got a few publications. Showed us a few publications that we, can read over and learn and things of that nature. That's what it is. The publications tell you where the events is at. It's not always going to be a for-profit event. Some people don't know that. Oh, Trust Christian, you only going to the for-profit business events. We're going to go ahead and tell y'all this is the secret. This is the cheat code, because you got to get a cheat code. I need a cheat code. The cheat code is going to the galas, going to the foundation galas locally where you're at, going to good ones at that, going to the local like business chamber galas at the end of the year, going to different galas for major charities in the area. If it's like a planned community, yeah, I got a major family that has a gala every year. You go to their galas. That's one day out your life. The plate might cost you $300. The plate might cost you $600. Okay, you got months to save up for that. You got months to save up for that. You don't need to. I gotta get a tuxedo. I gotta get the. I gotta get the. We gotta get the black SUV. That's what you tell us, Trust Christian. We gotta get the black SUV. Okay. That's the thing about it. You understand? Okay. How am I doing this? I gotta become the best trustee. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the Vault, episode 785 from Owner to Trustee. Look forward to hearing from you all. Reaching out. Peace and joy.